So my name's Sean. My official title is UK Sales Manager. Although my role is sales, it's not sales as in hard sales, because what we produce is something very special. So ultimately, what we do sells itself. So I consider my role as more of a hand-holding role, that I'm there to support my customers, I'm there to support the rest of the team at the factory, and I'm there to work with the different factions that make and create beautiful wallpaper. So I suppose in a way I'm a little bit like the glue that holds all the different parts together and gets everything functioning from one stage to the next right the way through and following it through like that. So yeah, it's great meeting new people, it's great going out and finding new companies that would want to work with us, which ultimately is the sales, but it's what we do and what we make that sets us apart from everywhere else. So in terms of sales, my job is quite easy, but in terms of what actually goes into my job, it's not quite so simple. So I suppose the 100 years of printing comes back down to the traditional and conventional processes that we run. So here at Anstey Wallpaper, what I would consider to be the traditional conventional wallpaper processes, we've got surface printing, which replicates hand block printing, and we also have flexographic printing, or flexo printing as we know it, and we can also amalgamate the two, which is another technique then called Surflex. On top of that, for conventional processes, we run gravure printing, rotary printing, which we now has a hybrid option. And then going back to more conventional, we've got hand screen processes, which we call a long table, which is literally a long continuous semi-automated hand screen. And we also have the old-fashioned block printing. So in terms of the sense of pride and tradition, I think it comes down to that. But then it also comes down to the skill set of our team, that we've been here for so many years. People stay here a long time at Anstey Wallpaper. It's a good place to live, a good place to work, sorry. And so consequently, the skill set of that team builds and builds and builds. So as a result of that, we need to be mindful of our conventional processes and the tradition that they hold, but we're also trying to push boundaries all the time, whether it be with ink systems, different ways of working the machines, modifications that we can make to improve, but also generate a slightly different product using those conventional processes. So printing process really is determined by the design itself. Not every design is suitable to be printed across every different process. You probably could, but you were maybe making modifications that were so great that ultimately you're changing that design too much, and it then moves so far away from the original artwork interpretation. And so quite often it comes down to the design itself. It may be down to minimums. Perhaps a customer goes with a particular process because their minimums are much lower. Obviously a lower minimum sometimes is a higher print cost. So it kind of balances itself out, but I would say we are lucky at Anstey in that we do have so many processes. Pretty much we can print every design the way it was intended to be printed by its design. I would say there isn't anything that is more challenging or less challenging in terms of process. I would say it's us challenging the processes itself by, again, trying to improve, trying something new on it, trying different inks, trying modifications to achieve and collaborate with our designers, with our customers, to create something slightly newer from something that already exists. So I say we probably put those challenges on ourselves in collaboration with the customer, rather than a process being a challenge on itself or by itself. I think from a personal point of view, it's more about self-care. We all love our work here and we all work very, very hard here. But I think we've all learned that there's a life outside of work now. So I think to me, it's more about the people and the people focus, which then in itself relates down to teamwork, supporting people, supporting customers, supporting people that you work with. So for me, although I probably knew it before, I think it's more of an understanding and recognition of recognising the value of people around you and the people that you work with and for.